before we hit your Roku trade, because I want to.
Yes.
Did I miss anything, or is this just more nervousness around previous highs in the S&P? What's going on? Stock's getting a little rocky here.
Yeah, the new home sales, again, like you had just mentioned, very weak, continue to be weak, lower than they were last report. And then I just think there's a little bit of overall nervousness here, again, that we could not break through that major 2,800 level. What is this, the sixth time now, I think, that we've approached it and can't break through it. So I don't see, caution on the horizon. I just think that maybe things are a little bit less optimistic. I'm not saying pessimistic. I'm saying a little bit less optimistic, at least, just for the near term here.
Yeah.
But you know what, Oliver? We don't see VIX really rallying too much here. I mean, it's up a little bit. So take it all with a grain of salt here. I mean, there could just be a little bit of profit taking, which would be normal.
Okay. Well, we'll look at the market. As you mentioned, VIX still with 13 handle right now that I see, just below 14, exactly. So pretty quiet. All right, now let's hit the Roku stuff, Scott. This company got slammed yesterday. Analysts now have a couple of them returned to bearish. This company is notorious for big rallies, big sell-offs. Are we in store for another one?
Well, I think we had a real big sell-off so far, and in my opinion, the sell-off that we had yesterday, and it even started, prior to that, it's all based on the news coming out, the March 25th Apple announcement. Streaming service, what's that going to mean to Roku? You and I have had the conversation about Netflix and other services that have subscription-based services and how great that model is. So I believe that Roku, I'm not saying it's in the class of a Netflix or that it can compete with Apple, but they have this subscription-based service, which is very solid. This, to me, is a fantastic opportunity to take advantage of this sell-off. And yes, I'm going against all these analysts that are coming out saying sell, 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 sell. This is why you trade options. This is why you're able to leverage a trade using options. I'm not looking for an investment in Roku. I could honestly care less what happens to this stock in 6 months from now. I'm looking at a reward to risk. Seriously, I'm looking at a reward to risk opportunity, trading it. And this sell-off here gives me that reward to risk. If I'm wrong here, which, I'm wrong plenty of times. Fortunately, I'm right more than I'm wrong. But if I'm wrong, I'm capped out. I know exactly what I can lose.
All right, I like it. So you're limited basically here because the thing is pretty swingy, right? I mean, if you're on the wrong side of a Roku trade, it can hurt. I mean, just look at today alone. The thing is chopped around like crazy, and it ends up being up 1.8%. So, Scott, the one thing I would say here, though, is that in terms of like a pullback by Roku standards, this is like the first time we've seen just a little bit of red. What makes you think it's going to pop back so quickly? It was like a nonstop party since, right before the beginning of the year, all the way up. It doubled in price. Why not give back a little bit more?
Because I'm looking at this, Oliver, as an emotional trade, not my trade. But I'm saying that the market is reacting very emotionally to this news about the Apple announcement on March 25th. And I love to look at opportunities. I'm not even going to call them possibilities. Opportunities in the marketplace that I identify that a stock has made a move due to emotion as opposed to fundamental technical analysis. And I think this one is overdone in Roku, and I'm looking to take advantage of it. And again, if I'm wrong, fine, I'm wrong, but I know using my option strategy, I know what my risk is. I'm stopped out.
Yeah. Scott, before we let you go, do you have a view on the company itself, speaking of fundamentals? Because I could argue till my breath is out that Apple's saying they're going to take HBO and a bunch of other Showtime content and other content is exactly what should hurt Roku, because if that happens in an Apple TV, guess what? I don't need Roku on there. This is the whole long-term case that I think is so hard for them.
No question about it. And that's why I said earlier, I really don't care what happens to this stock in 3 months or 6 months. This is a very short-term trade. So I think the longer term, they're going to be fighting an uphill battle against Apple and probably Netflix and some of the others. But here, I think for a trade, this is a fantastic opportunity.
All right, you got it. 70 to 75 call spread. And, hey, 75 would take it back to the high. So if this thing goes to highs, who knows where it goes. So I hear you. Scott Bauer capping his losses if he's wrong. But as we know, Scott's right more than he is wrong. Love it, Mr. Bauer. Appreciate it. Good stuff, my man. All right.
Have a good one.
Thank you, Scott, coming to us from the CBO, the CEO of Prosper Trading Academy. We'll be right back.